Hi, this is Joseph Tan here from goodmonday.com. Now we are on to our final key principle of character-wise leadership, and that is the principle of energized discipline. A lot of us know the importance of discipline, but where do we find the energy to sustain that discipline level? Because the purpose of why we want to practice discipline is so that we can overcome aimlessness in life. Without discipline, we will just flow along with the crowd and doing what everybody says we should do, but there is no internal compass to guide us, and thus we have a lack of energy in our life. For today's focus, we're going to talk about how to develop a strong inner yes. How to have a strong yes within you so that you can have the strength to say no when distraction comes along your way. In order to build a strong yes within, we need the character quality of boldness. Now, boldness is not disregarding fear, but boldness is a mindset that we inculcate within us beforehand. We build a confidence within us that what we have to say or do is true, right, and just. So having that sense of strong yes within you is also similar to having a strong sense of rightness, that you decide that what you have to do is right. Now, why do we need this strong sense of rightness or this strong sense of yes within us? It's because we have got limited energy in life, you see. I mean, if we have all the time and money in the world, then there is really no need to have any purpose in life, because we can do anything we want, anytime we want. But because our resources and time are limited, our energy is limited, we need to be focused. We need to choose not between the good and the bad, but to choose between what is best in the midst of all the distraction of what is good. There's so many good things around us. We need to choose that which is best, and that requires a strong sense of purpose within us. Let's go through 3 principles on how we can develop a stronger yes within. The first principle is discover what others need. Now this is different from looking within yourself to find what you want. This is quite paradoxical in nature, because in order to find that within you which gives you the driving energy, you need to start off by looking at the interests of other people, because self-interest cannot sustain a purposeful life. I mean, if you look at leaders like Martin Luther King or Nelson Mandela, they have a purpose that is bigger than themselves. In the training, we went through the example of Dick and Rick Hoyt. Remember the father who pushed his disabled son, participating in races and so on. He found his purpose in helping his son to live a meaningful life. So in a way, when you look beyond yourself, you begin to find your purpose, which is kind of strange, because when you start to meet the needs of others, strange enough, you yourself become refreshed in the process. So the search for a strong yes within starts by looking out for what can I do to help other people. The second principle involves thinking long term. If you recall, during the training, we basically have 3 drives that is energizing us within. The first is our physical drive, secondly is our psychological drive, and thirdly is our principled drive. Now, thinking long term means we are willing to put principle above feelings, that we don't just live our life according to how we feel, because emotions are like a roller coaster. It can go up and it can come down. So we need to bear in mind the principle of delayed gratification, because no pain, no gain. So think long term. What is it that I would want to achieve 10 years down the road? If any activities come along the way, measure it against the 10-year timeline. Will what I do now matter 10 years down the road. And you'll find that a lot of things that matter 10 years down the road has to do with key relationships. So how we spend our time with our loved ones, how we spend our time in resolving conflicts, in confessing basic offenses, all of these are investment towards long-term benefits. And secondly, if we want to have a strong purpose in life, to have a strong yes, well, be ready for short-term rejection and opposition. Because if you find a path with no obstacles, well, it will probably lead you nowhere. Because by and large, the majority of the people out there are followers. And if you want to be a leader and if you have a strong yes within, they're going to feel uncomfortable. People don't like changes. And if you are one who is a catalyst for change, be ready for rejection and opposition and a lot of no's that will come from others because you have a strong yes within. The final principle is one of seeking regular refueling. We need to continually be refreshed. How are we going to have energized discipline if we don't constantly re-energize ourselves? Because we cannot give what we do not have. Now, one way to re-energize ourselves is to connect with people who are energy givers. You know, if you hang out with eagles, you will be like eagles. But if you hang out with turkeys, well, guess what you will become? Because he who walks with the wise will become wise. So do network with energy giving people. These are the type of people that can help to add fuel to your yes and not pour cold water over your vision. And learn to take personal responsibility for your own growth. Do not wait to be spoon-fed. Be interested in self-development training, especially those that relate to people's skills. Training and development that touches on how to negotiate with others, how to resolve conflicts, how to understand others, how to communicate better, because the higher up you go in the hierarchy of leadership, people's skills become more important than technical competency. So what is it about saying a stronger yes? It requires boldness. Saying a stronger yes will help you to stay on the straight and narrow path, because life is full of distractions. And boldness is not a absence of fear. Boldness is having that confidence that though you have a lot of challenges in life, you believe that the yes within you is that right thing to do. And discovering this yes and building this strong yes within requires you to discover what other people need first. Secondly, to think long term. And finally, to seek regular refueling or re-energizing. In this way, you will not only be a disciplined person, but you will have the energy to maintain that discipline and overcome aimlessness in life because you have a stronger yes within. Think about it. This is Joseph Tan here from goodmonday.com.